easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Hey race fans, it's Sunday evening again. That means we're back with some more Apex This Racing. This week brings us the ultimate round of the Fix Ferrari Challenge Series. Gonna wrap up round 12 here. Settle the championship score. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the road course, is the site for deciding who's going to win this one. Pretty much wrapped up on the pro side. We still have some battling though on the mid-pack Larry side, also known as our AM Championship. But as I mentioned, we head off to Indianapolis road course. 14 corners, going to challenge our drivers here tonight. 2.439 miles. It's a dual identity track. The road course shares space with the famous oval track, home of the Indianapolis 500, creating a unique hybrid racing experience. The Brick Legacy is a strip of original bricks that still marks the start-finish line, a nod to its nickname, the Brickyard. And if you're a fan of Indy 500 racing, to see the winning driver kiss those bricks after every race, I think it's actually something that's kind of working its way into the NASCAR and the IMSA side of things too as well. But today, we've got GT3-esque machinery, the Ferrari Challenge machine on track here this evening. On board here with Sean Teeter, currently outputting in his qualifying laps. Sean sitting in 4th place right now in qualifying. A little smaller field here as we're now at the end of the season. Drivers that aren't really vying for championship aspirations here, or potentially off doing other things. End of summer looms too as well. Next week kicks off week 13 for iRacing, where the new content comes in. So we'll get a load of that new stuff. The Aston Martin GT3, the Mustang GT4, the Indy NXT car comes next week too as well. It's be interesting to see how the iRacing community takes to that. We've got a championship on the way, as I said. Let's take a look at that before we really dive into the qualifying results here right now. So let's look at our mid-pack Larry, where I said it's still up for grabs. It's our AM Championship. Chris Diaz comes into this one only 2 points ahead of Jesse Mayer. Jesse in 2nd place with 149 points, only 4 points up on Isaac Sulu. So any one of those 3 drivers could still capitalize here and take the win. Aaron Sunday, I think, technically could mathematically still be involved, but it would have to come at some horrific misfortunes for Christopher Diaz. But so those are our 4 drivers still with a shot here at the championship in the mid-pack Larry, aka AM class. Over on the pro side of things, pretty much wrapped up here for Brian Lemke, as Brian Zinn not here this evening. He is, I believe I just saw, off at the World Endurance Championship race at COTA in Texas. So that's going to wrap things up for Brian Lemke. He comes into this one a 13-point lead over Zinn. Joseph Marr in 3rd place, 8 points back of Zinn. Potentially Joseph could hop ahead of Brian Zinn, but we'll see how that works itself out once the points are all calculated and tallied up at the end of this one. So we're on board with Jesse Mayer as he's crossing the line. He's going to take top spot. He was down in 4th place. Quick lap there for him. Put him on top of the pole. I'm going to have to say it's probably something to do with me pronouncing his name right. I did my research this time, Jesse. Made sure I had it right in front of me. So we got this one. So you were watching it back with your wife there later this evening. Both of you can just give me a nice little slow clap there. Nod your heads. And we'll acknowledge that we finally got her right as the season progressed on. So I mentioned that Brian Lemke, though, our championship leader in the pro side of things, is going to quickly knock Jesse down 1 spot into 2nd place. Lemke's going to come into this one pretty much with the championship wrapped up on the pro side of things. So we'll see what kind of qualifying time he puts in. Let's go a little further back in the field here as we've got the big dog, Kent Kruger. Kent, decent season for him. A couple misfortunate races there towards the start and middle of the season. Kent's bounced back the last couple of races here with some strong finishes. I think a lot of it has to do with changing up his paint. He's gone from his traditional green and yellow fluorescent paint. He's got himself into a nice, oh man, I don't even want to say tribal, but it's a little bit of a mishmash of everything out there for Kent Kruger. So Kent heading to the line. He's going to put in a 125.4. That's going to keep him in 10th place right now in qualifying. So we'll see if Kent can move himself up through the standings once the race starts. Joseph Marr coming into this one in 3rd place. He's going to try and take that spot away from Brian's in, so we'll see if Joseph able to do that. On board with Aaron Sunday, another driver, as I mentioned, potentially could have a shot at trying to snatch away the Pro Championship. He's going to need a lot of things to go, or sorry, not the Pro Championship, the AM Championship. He's going to need a lot of things to go right for him. So see how that works out for Aaron. Felipe Cox, one of our new drivers, kind of joined us halfway through the season. He's been finding more pace each and every week in the Ferrari Challenge machine. Really got himself in 9th place in qualifying. Nice little run by him. But I mentioned that the season coming to a close here this evening for Apex this, as well as for iRacing. That's going to bring us into a new season after a week off to try and test the new cars, new tracks, everything that's new coming to iRacing. So let's take a look at what schedule we have coming up for Racers Nexus next season. Sundays, we're going to be sticking around here with Apex this. But next season, we're kicking the Ferrari Challenge car out. We're bringing back the tried and true Mazda MX-5 Cup. So it's always been the top participation class in Apex this, the Mazda MX-5. So if you're out there and you're a lover of the Mazda, next season is the season for you to get in on the broadcast races here at Apex this for the Mazda, as we're coming back on Sundays. 8:55 start. Mondays, continue on with the Production Car Challenge PCC SOF race. That's the official broadcast of the SOF race. It's the second session of each week once it clicks over to the new track combo. That's 9:30 p.m. on Monday evenings. Tuesdays, we see Throttle Freaks GT3 action coming to the channel. That'll be 2 separate leagues fixed at 8:30. They'll be running a 40-minute race fixed setup, and then that'll be followed up by the open setup league. They'll be running right after them too as well. So 2 races, 2 GT3 leagues on Tuesdays. Wednesday evening is going to see a new league come on board here, the Tobacco Road Sim Racing. That's your Next Gen Cup Series racing. A bunch of different ovals. It's 7, I believe 8 race season kicking off about 2 weeks into the season. So there's still a new league getting things underway, getting drivers signed up. So if you're big into watching Next Gen Cup Series racing, that'll be on Wednesday nights starting at 7:45. And Thursday, we see Throttle Freaks back again for their new F4 fixed setup heat racing league. Again, that'll be on Thursday. That's going to kick off at 8:45. So that's what you have on board coming in next season here on Racer Nexus. If you're interested in joining any of those leagues, we'll drop a description link to each one of the Discords in the description here later on. Once this race is wrapped up, I'll put all of them into the comments section so you can find that, or feel free to comment or send a message and we'll get that information off to you. So qualifying just clicked over. Let's take a look at how we're going to grid up. Brian Lemke taking top spot. He's going to have Jesse Mayer to his outside in second place. Kelly Greenhoe with a strong run, and himself up into third place with Sean Teeter to his outside. Joseph Maher in fifth. Christopher Diaz in sixth. Justin Atchison in seventh. Aaron Sunday going to start in eighth. Felipe Cox in ninth. Kent Kruger in 10th. And then newcomer Nick Jair, the Australian. See if he joins the grid, as he didn't put a time in qualifying. He was asking early or late in Discord how to join the session. So it's like maybe he's going to choose to hold off till next season. But our driver's on track, being led around by the Porsche pace car for the final time this season. Brian Lemke coming in this one, pretty much wrapped up the championship. I think even with a lackluster finish here, his drop weeks should allow him to hold on to top spot here and bring home the win. But he's got some work to do. Jesse Mayer, Kelly Greeno, Sean Teeter are going to want to try and keep him honest here, make him go out winning the championship. He's going to have to get around them to do it. The big dog, Kent Kruger, starting at the back behind Felipe Cox. Let's go on here with the big dog. See the field bunching up behind the pace car. I believe it's 60 kilometer an hour pace speed here at Indy. Fixed Ferrari challenge car has been a difficult transition for a lot of our drivers. Sundays have been traditionally been the GT3 machinery, which have a ton more downforce. What these Ferrari challenge cars do, they have more power than the GT3s, smaller brakes, less aero. It's been a ton of challenge, but I should give a shout out here to our sponsor as well, Apex Sim Racing. You'll find yourself a 5% discount code in the description, as well as a referral link that'll get you 5% off any of your purchases. So thanks for them for sponsoring the channel here. They carry wheels, wheelbases, pedals, button boxes, accessories, sim rigs itself, many brands, SimiCube. Who else do they have? They've got Moza, they've got SimMagic. They've got their own brand of Apex Sim Racing button boxes and accessories, so you can find them in the description. You get the referral link as well as the 5% discount code, which will help us help you. And in that sense, you're helping us back again. So we're just waiting for the pace car to pull off, heading into the final few corners here. What do we get? Oops. Oh, pardon me. Get that out of there. Nobody saw that. Pretend you didn't see that. Clicked on the wrong button. There we go, into turn 14. This is a go on green league. Our drivers will be getting underway. Once the green flag goes, it is not on the leader. So Jesse Meager having to wait for that green flag. He can't try and get a jump on Brian Lemke. We're gridded up. Away we go. There's the green. See the green lights up. And off we go into turn one. Long run down the front straight here into turn one. So the driver's fanning out. Looks like Lemke going to lead them into turn one. Kelly Greenhoe looking up the inside. Potentially he's going to back out early. That's going to allow Lemke to hold on that spot. Jesse Mayer and Greenhoe tuck into second and third. Sean Teeter going to hold on in fourth place, but Joseph Maher trying to make a move up top. Joseph knows if he wants any chance of potentially trying to get ahead of Brian Zinn in the overall championships, he needs a great race out here this evening. And to do that, he needs to get himself up towards the front. Joseph hopping over those curves. It's going to cost him a bit of time. We see him falling back off Sean Teeter. He has Chris Diaz now. Diaz came into this one leading the AM side by only a few points. So Diaz needs a strong showing here. Aaron Sunday, one of those drivers he is battling with right in behind him. Sean Teeter, another driver in the championship battle too as well. He's just up ahead of Joseph Maher. So Teeter doing what he needs to do to try and snatch away some points. But our leader, Lemke, from pole position, opens himself up a nice 0.8 gap over second place, Jesse Mayer. They're holding off Kelly Greenhoe. Those top three starting to break away now as Joseph Mayer falling in behind. Oh no, something happened to Sean Teeter. I was just saying how great of a start he had, but he has fallen back now into 10th place. Let's take a quick look here at what happened to Sean into turn one. Oh, he just got loose. Got caught up in the back of Kelly Greenhoe. Tried to bail out, and unfortunately that Ferrari challenge car just whipped around him. Everybody seems to get by though, so Sean gonna be able to get back on track and continue on. Up front though, Joseph Maher himself around Chris Diaz. Diaz and Maher breaking away, trying to close up on that trio up ahead. Kelly Greenhoe, Jesse Mayer battling it out. Brian Lemke opened up a bit of a gap here. Kelly, a bit of an up and down season for him. He's had some great races and then some races where he started out well and then just one little mistake by either him or another driver, and his race unfortunately has just gone by the wayside. So no doubt Kelly looking forward to the Mazdas coming back on Sundays next season. Kelly always been a strong driver on the Mazda side. So no doubt we'll see him battling up towards the front week in, week out. Another driver who's had a bit of an up and down season too as well, not here this evening, is Corey Mitchell. Corey usually does well on the Masters too, so it'll be interesting to see how Mitchell recovers next season in a car that he's much more familiar with. Looks like Corey struggled times this season getting adapted to the Ferrari challenge car, the 296 challenge car. Got a little battle here between Aaron Sunday. So he's got Justin Atchison just ahead of him. Atchison changed his paint up this week. We're used to seeing him in a red Ferrari. It switched up to the purple Motul paint scheme this week. Nice sharp purple chrome paint job, Aaron Sunday, in his usual Our House No Drama paint scheme. See the cars weaving their way through turn 7, 8, 9, 10 S's section. See that gap between Aaron Sunday and Justin Atchison up ahead. They're going to head on to the front straight here after a couple more corners. We'll see what kind of draft Aaron Sunday could potentially get. Try and close in on Atchison. It actually looks like they're starting to close in on Chris Diaz now. So Diaz and Joseph Meyer getting a bit of a jump over this battle here. And now it looks like Sunday and Atchison starting to close in that gap. So see if they're able to continue working forward. Up ahead of them, back on board here with Kelly Greenhill. Jesse Mayer up ahead, Brian Lipke, the black Ferrari just ahead of that blue Ferrari of Mayer. Tricky section here in a car that doesn't have a ton of downforce. It's very easy to lose the back end through there. It's almost a 180 degree corner as you come through. See Jesse Mayer getting a ton of curb use there, hopping the car up and over it. So it cost him a little bit of exit pace. That being said, that allows Kelly Greenhill to close up that gap. Now only 4/10 between Greenhill and Mayer. Further back, we got Sean Teeter on his recovery run. He's got himself around Kent Kruger, now trying to put some pressure on Felipe Cox. That's a battle for 8th place. Sean trying to recover from that lazy spin his car had earlier on. Looks like Felipe going to pull over and let him by. Recognizes Teeter has a ton more pace. Rather than battle and hold each other up, he's going to let him by and try and ride Teeter's coattails now, so he can pull him into that battle between Atchison and Sunday up ahead. As I mentioned, that battle. Back to it here now. Aaron Sunday closing the gap. Now only a few tenths between these two. Down the front straight they go. Let's see what kind of run Aaron Sunday can get. This is a fixed setup league, so all our drivers still running the exact same setup. So just a matter of it comes down to driver differences here. Everybody running the same setup. There's no advantage, no fuel advantage or disadvantage. Fuel is limited at, I believe it's 45% or 50%. So drivers will have to come in for a fuel stop at some point in time. They don't need tires. They can run like a good 90 minutes or so on one set of tires. Just a little splash of fuel to get to the end. Sunday getting a nice run down the mid straight. Not enough to make a move into turn 7 though. He's got to hold on to try and find another option, another way around Justin Atchison. Our leader, meanwhile, cruise control here for our champion-elect, Brian Lemke. He's got himself a nice 2.2 second lead over Jesse Mayer. Jesse so far been able to hold off the charge from Kelly Greenhill. Kelly had it down to only a couple of tenths. Last time by we checked on them, but since then Jesse's put the pedal to the metal. He's opened that gap back up now over Kelly. Into turn 1 they go. Look at Kelly getting later on the brakes. It's like the first sector, Kelly a little quicker than Jesse here. He's able to close in on that gap. But when you get into the high-speed twisty section, that's where Mayer seems to excel over Greenhill. Greenhill loses a couple tenths. This is the section we see here. Kelly follows Jesse over those curves. Now they're both bunny hopping over the curves to see if that works out into Greenhill's advantage this time. They're going a little wide. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. While they continue to battle, that's allowing Joseph Meyer in behind to close in on that gap. Joseph now only 1.7 seconds back of Kelly Greenhoe. So Joseph keep trying to push forward. Aaron Sunday, Justin Atchison still battling it out. Sunday's been unable to find a way around, although he continues to try and close that gap in on Justin Atchison. Atchison may be a little slower getting into the corners, but he's been able to find that little bit of extra pace out of the corners, keep himself just ahead of Aaron Sunday. Sunday going wide, clipping the grass out of turn 14 down the front straight, trying to maximize his pace down the front straight, get every last mile an hour he can into turn 1. Not enough to make a move though into turn 1. He's going to try and gather himself back up, try and make a move down the straight between turns 6 and 7. Chris Diaz, our mid-pack Larry leader in points heading into this one. Himself a solid race shaping up right now. He's up one spot due to Sean Teeter's spin earlier on. Looking comfortable in 5th place. He's got Meyer just 1.8 seconds up ahead of him, but he's got a nice comfortable 2.1 seconds as it stands over that battle between Atchison and Sunday. So it's probably exactly what Diaz needs to do. Stay ahead of his competitors here, and Aaron Sunday. Who else? Jesse Mayer doing what he needs to do. He's up top in 2nd place. Kelly Greenhoe starting to close that gap again as they're into the final sector. A couple more corners to go, and they'll be heading down the front straight. We haven't seen Greenhoe this close in a few laps. We'll see what kind of run he can get. See the two varying lines there. Kelly trying to take a little wider line, trying to keep his pace up out of turn 14. Jesse Mayer electing a tighter line, trying to take the shortest way around. It could be why we're seeing Kelly Greenhoe close that gap on the front straight into the braking of turn 1. There's two alternate lines, but once we get into the turn 2, 3, 4 section, that's where Jesse Mayer seems to pull away. It's almost like clockwork. Every single time you can time the lap. Oh, Mayer flirting with a slowdown there. If you cut too far to the right over those curbs, there is a nasty slowdown. You'll get through that section. Jesse Mayer flirting with it there. He doesn't want to go a little any farther to the right. Otherwise, he's going to get one of those slowdowns. That's exactly what Kelly Greenhoe is hoping. Let's go back here. We got a battle between Kent Kruger and Felipe Cox. Sean Teeter was able to get around both of these drivers in his recovery run. See now if Kent can put some pressure on Felipe. As they head in and out of turn 10. It's going to take them up onto the oval section for a quick little jaunt, and then they're going to cut right back down into the infield section for turns 12, 13, 14. And they'll go right back up onto the front stretch in counterclockwise, than what traditionally is run in the Indy 500. So normally the Indy cars are running the opposite direction we're running here right now. Down the front stretch they go. Felipe Cox getting a nice run out of turn 14, able to open up that gap on Kent Kruger. Kent a little later on the brakes, able to close in on Felipe Cox. They're going to continue to battle. Go back here. Aaron Sunday falling back a little bit off Atchison, but Sean Teeter now into this battle. Let's go on board here with Sean Teeter. The roof cam from Teeter's car. You can see those two Ferrari Challenge cars up ahead. Actually, Chris Diaz not too far ahead of this battle now too as well. Could have a 4-car battle shaping out here quickly for 5th place. No doubt once Teeter gets up there, this battle is going to get hot. Teeter down 4 places, so he qualified in 4th, just ahead of that position currently held by Chris Diaz. So we know he has the pace to get up there. Catching the cars is one thing. Getting around them is a whole nother. On the front straight we go to end up Lap 9, start lap 10 for these drivers. Down into turn 1, we see them come. There goes Chris Diaz. There goes Ashton Sunday. Teeter is right there now. It's a 3-car battle officially for 6th place. Christopher Diaz not too far up the track though. No doubt he's watching in his rearview mirrors that battle in behind, hoping that they do battle it out a little more. If they continue to squabble, that could allow Chris Diaz to pull away, and that's exactly what he would want to see at this point. Check back in the battle for 2nd place. Jesse Mir holding on to the spot. Kelly Greenhoe doing the best he can, try and pressure Jesse Mir the best he can. Jesse just able to open up another couple tenths once Greenhoe gets within about 3 or 4 tenths of him. So Kelly just needs that little bit of extra pace, try and make a move. Right now, Jesse Mir doing well to stay ahead. Onto the front stretch they go. Joseph Marr lurking in behind, inching ever so close. Into turn 1 they go. Comes the trio of cars battling for 2nd place. See that gap now with Joseph Marr getting ever so closer. I'm going to say he's pretty much officially there in that battle. Down the back stretch they go. Doesn't look like anybody's close enough to make a move. Let's pick up this battle in behind here. Sean Teeter now putting a ton of pressure on Aaron Sunday. Oh, Sunday goes wide. That's going to allow Teeter through. Sean Teeter's going to get around Aaron Sunday as Aaron Sunday blew the braking for turn 7. Went a little wide, had to collect himself back up. That's all Sean Teeter needed to make the move. Let's take another look here from replay cam. See how Teeter was able to get around Aaron Sunday. Looks like Aaron Sunday just kind of bailed out, saw that Teeter was coming, knew he had more pace. Let him through. They're going to carry on. So Teeter up to 7th now. See if he's able to chase down Justin Atchison. Atchison just ahead. Look back here from Atchison's rear wing. Or sorry, Teeter's rear wing. Apology. Here we go from Atchison's rear wing. This is Sean Teeter getting a little loose out of turn 2 and 3. Back end of his car wiggling. Let's go back up to the battle for 2nd place. Status quo from where we left them. Jesse Mayer leading the way. Kelly Greenhoe trying to find a way to take that position away from Mayer, all the while holding Joseph Marr in behind him. Marr would like to see both of them get into some kind of battle here so he could potentially take that spot away. As we go on board here with Joseph. Into turn 12 they go. Problem with this track is the straights aren't long enough to really utilize draft to make a overtake. You don't get enough overrun to really make that move. You have to try and force a mistake from the driver ahead of you. So qualifying here was of the utmost importance. We haven't seen a whole lot of movement out of our drivers' qualifying positions other than just the one mistake here by Sean Teeter has dropped him back a couple spots. Otherwise, everybody else would have been still running in their qualifying position. Oh, Atchison going to go wide into turn 1. Has to collect it up. That puts Teeter right on his back bumper. But Chris Diaz, now they've reeled in Diaz, our mid-pack Larry Points championship leader coming into this race. Diaz needs a strong race to hold off the drivers in behind. The last thing he wants right now is some pressure from Atchison, Teeter, and Sunday in behind. Kent Kruger's got himself around Felipe Cox. Let's take a quick look here at how that worked out. See Kruger. A better line. Oh, looks like Felipe pulls over and lets him through too as well. I'm going to suggest maybe Felipe a newer track to him potentially. Looks like he's still trying to get the track layout, come to grips with it. Instead of battling, he's just going to let the drivers through. So that's going to promote Kent Kruger up into 9th place. Back up front, Jesse Mayer opened up a second now over Kelly Greenhoe. Greenhoe now just a 10th or 2 ahead of Joseph Mara. As they head into turn 1. Joseph really putting some pressure on the back of Kelly Greenhoe. Let's have a look back here from Greenhoe's rear wing. Joseph a little bit of understeer through turn 4. Had to wait that couple extra seconds before I can get really back into the loud pedal that allowed Kelly Greenhoe to pull away. Now Greenhoe chasing back down Jesse Mayer. It's interesting, the ebbs and flows amongst this battle where we just saw when we picked them back up, Kelly Greenhoe had fallen back about a second back of Jesse Mayer. He was feeling some pressure from Joseph Marr, and then he was able to pull away from Marr, close back in on Jesse Mayer. But now since he's done that, Mayer now starting to pull back ahead of Greenhoe. So it's like a big game of tug and war right now. One driver pulling the rope a little closer to them, and the next driver saying, no, not yet. Pulls it right back towards him. Something's going to have to give at some point in time here. One of these drivers is going to have to capitalize or try and force a mistake here. Our leader, though, Brian Lemke, loving it. The more they battle in behind, the bigger his lead gets. 6.2 seconds now for Brian Lemke up top, leading the way. It's never been in doubt so far this race. He put it on pole, and he's led first 20 minutes. First half of this race has been all Brian Lemke. Came into this one leading, pretty much wrapped up the championship standings for the pro side of the field. All you need to do is just come in, have a decent race. His main competitor, Brian Zinn, not here this week. Joseph Marr, the 3rd place driver, about 20 points or more back. Barring a major catastrophe and penalty points for Lemke, all he had to do was run a clean race. Didn't even have to win, didn't have to put it on pole. None of this, it's just all icing on the cake here for Lemke. Excellent season for him. Sean Teeter, though, eagerly trying to find a way around Atchison. He's going to try and move the wall a couple feet there. Unsuccessful. Looks up the inside of Atchison. Atchison trying to fight back on the outside. It's a tough ask through that corner. Teeter going to try and take the long way around. That's the line we've seen Kelly Greenhoe running on the outside. And maximize the pace down the front stretch. Looks like Teeter going to take that spot away from Atchison. Aaron Sunday now trying to get involved into turn 1. They go side by side between Atchison and Sunday. They're going to continue side by side. Aaron Sunday unable to make that position stick for him. Atchison goes a little wide through turn 4. Sunday tried to look up the inside. Down the mid straight they go. See if Aaron Sunday able to capitalize here. Trying to get a run. Looks to the inside. Trying to force a mistake from Justin Atchison. Atchison not buying it. See a sight set on Sean Teeter up ahead. Trying to take that position back. Chris Diaz now only 1.2 seconds ahead of that battle. Head back up front. Joseph Marr has been able to get around Kelly Greenhoe. See if we can see what happened here. Happened while we were focusing on the Teeter Atchison battle. It's like down the mid straight. Greenhoe just going to, looks like, give that position to him. Oh, Kelly went off track. So this is what caused that slowdown for Kelly. Let's put some pressure on Jesse Mayer. Oh, he's going to run a little wide. Himself slowed up. And I believe he might bail again here. So we see Joseph get by. Kelly might have went off into turn one. We'll stick with this here down the front straight. So we get an idea of what Kelly was really slowed up through turn four. So heading into turn one now, we'll keep our eye on Kelly Greenhill, the camouflage car. Joe Samar in behind into turn two. Greenhill looks okay here. Turn three looks fine. Wonder if he just took too much of the curb here in turn four and got loose. Let's see. Nope. Either way, we'll go back live. Josmar now up into second place. Try and chase down Jesse Mayer up ahead. Sean Teeter, though, he's got his sights set on Christopher Diaz. To head down the front straight into turn one. That gap now only half a second between Diaz and Teeter. Look back here from Chris Diaz's car. Teeter trying to put some pressure on the back of Diaz. Diaz been fairly pressure-free so far this race. He's got himself into a bit of a clean space on track with no real pressure, but it's been the first real pressure we've seen all race here as Teeter throwing it dangerously up over the curbs. Almost lost the back end of his car to collect it back up before he could really get back into the throttle. The gap holding steady about 3/4 tenths. Justin Atchison right in behind too as well. Something were to happen between those two drivers. He's there ready to pounce. See that battle just up ahead of him. They work their way back in through the final sector, turn 13 and 14. See the varying lines through 13. Sean Teeter, wide apex, trying to maximize his pace through that corner. Chris Diaz, a little tighter line. See here if Diaz able to hold off Teeter. Into turn one they go. Sean Teeter gonna fall back into line, unable to make the pass. Diaz gonna hold on. Slow turn two for Chris Diaz. Almost parked it on the apex. That's gonna cost a little bit of time from Teeter. Teeter no doubt would have had to back out of that one. Unable to move forward. On board here with Sean Teeter. Let's see what kind of move he can make. Looks up the inside. Diaz gonna give it to him. He's gonna move Teeter back into fifth place. He's now only -1 for the day. We're on down one spot from where he qualified. Kelly Greenhill, though, 8 seconds up the road, so he has a ton of work if he wants to chase in Kelly Greenhill, as we only have about 13 minutes remaining in this race. Our leader remains to be Brian Lemke, the way it's been since the drop of the green flag. Almost perfect season for Lemke. A bit of mistake at Lucas Hungaroring, ran out of fuel, but otherwise, virtually flawless season for Lemke. I mentioned next season we'll be back to the MX-5 on Sundays. See if Lemke able to be as dominant next season as well in the Mazda as he has been in the Ferrari Challenge car. Let's go back, check in our battle for second place. Jesse Mayer holding on to that position that he's had since the drop of the green flag. Was unable to stick with Lemke. Once Lemke got the green, off he went. Jesse's been able to hold off a charge from Kelly Greenhoe. Joseph Meyer trying to make that charge now as well. Jesse's been able to hold him steady about 1 second. Kelly Greenhoe had fallen back a little bit once Joseph Meyer got around him. Oh, Jesse Meyer going to be our first comer in for pits. So Jesse Meyer, our first driver in for pit service. See if Greenhoe and Mara respond next time by. Kelly Greenhoe slowly closing the gap on Joseph Meyer. Again, unsure of what caused Greenhoe to pull off to the left and slow. Could have been a slowdown through that sector they just went through that I talked about earlier. Or if you get too far on the right-hand side, there is a nasty slowdown through that section. So we'll see is Kelly Greenhoe putting a push here on Joseph Meyer really late on the brakes, almost eliminated all of that gap between he and Meyer up ahead. So we'll see if Greenhoe able to continue to push forward. Oh no! He just made all that work up closing the gap on Joseph Meyer, and he's going to lose the back end. Kelly gets himself back on track, but that's going to have overheated his tires. You have to be careful here for the next few corners. His tires going to be a little hot. Sean Teeter, Justin Ashton, Aaron Sunday now in the party here for third place. Greenhoe going to take advantage of that spin. Why did it take advantage? You try and minimize the loss in that spin. Pop into the pits. Sean Teeter going to follow him too as well. Justin Ashton, Aaron Sunday, they're going to go around one more time. See if we can take another look here at how Kelly had that spin. Very similar to what we saw happen to Sean Teeter. Just a little low, lazy spin back on the throttle. I mentioned earlier, these cars don't have a ton of downforce. They're more or less the road variant of the car with a big old wang on the back end and a couple little Cunards on the front bumper, but otherwise not much aero to really plant that car, that body of the car on track. See here, Justin Ashton, Aaron Sunday, these two have been battling for the majority of the race. Aaron Sunday has been able to get close to Ashton, but he's been unable to find a final way around here. Our leader Lemke coming in for his service too as well. So at the 31-minute mark, all of our drivers essentially out of fuel. Joseph Meyer coming in. I suspect we'll see Atchison and Sunday too as well. Here comes Atchison. There's Sunday. Kent Kruger. He's coming in, turn 13-14. He'll be coming in for his service. So Jesse Meyer was our first driver to come in for service. He came in from second place. Joseph Meyer in the pits right now. Jesse into turn 12 and 13. It's going to be interesting to see here if he's able to maintain that second position over Joseph Meyer. Meyer just getting to his pit stall there now. So they're going to be about 9 seconds in the stall. Meyer heading onto the front straight. Sorry, Meyer heading onto the front straight. Meyer leaving his pit box. Here comes Jesse Meyer. I think Joseph Meyer might be in danger of taking this position away, but it is a long pit lane here. There it is. Joseph Meyer is going to pop ahead of Jesse Meyer through the pit cycle time. Let's take a look at their stops. Joseph Meyer with a 9.93 second stop in his box. Jesse Meyer 10.6 seconds. That 3/quarters of a second extra in the pit stall for Jesse Meyer is what's translating into this loss of second place position for him to Joseph Meyer. Kelly Greenhoe holding steady in fourth place. Sean Teeter 1.2 seconds back of him. Aaron Sunday and Chris Diaz both getting around Justin Atchison. Atchison with a quick time in his stall, but a really slow cone-to-cone time through his pit stop. I'm not sure if maybe he missed his pit box, potentially 103.0 cone-to-cone time. That's from entering pit lane to exiting pit lane. The rest of our field in the 59.6 range to 1 minute flat. So Justin Atchison 3 seconds slower getting on and off pit road. That's what's translated into a couple lost positions for him. So he's trying to take one of those back from Chris Diaz here as quick as he possibly can. But Diaz going to fight him. He's not just going to roll over and give up that position. He's got something to fight for. He came into this one leading the mid-pack Larry, the AM Championship. Diaz needing a strong finish here to wrap up that championship. Up ahead, though, Joseph Meyer came out 1.3 seconds ahead of Jesse Mayer. Mayer closing that gap now down to 4/10. Only a few more laps to go in this one, so Jesse realizing he needs to push if he wants to take that position back from Joseph. Joseph's going to have to try and make that Ferrari as wide as he possibly can. Into the final set of corners they come. Joseph Meyer going to lead them onto the front stretch. See what kind of run that Jesse Mayer gets here. Down the front straight they go. There's that battle between Kelly Greenhoe and Sean Teeter. Back up to second place. Nothing doing there. Let's pop back here between Greenhoe and Teeter. Teeter's closed the gap. He's been unable to push that extra few tenths needed to try and make a move on Greenhoe. Diaz putting a ton of pressure, Atchison putting a ton of pressure on Diaz. Diaz defending it well. Let's take a look back here from Chris Diaz. We'll see if Justin Atchison makes a move into turn 7. Oh, it's going to be a late move. Look to the inside. Diaz has it covered off. He'll have the inside into the next corner. Actually going to have to regroup and try and find another way around. Let's pop back up to this battle for second place. Meyer still holding off Mayer. So they're going to head to the line to finish up lap 25. Start lap 26 for them. Drivers running 1.24 second laps. We'll have 2, potentially 3 more laps, depending how much time is left when Brian Lemke crosses the line next time by. Lemke, though, comfortably up in front. 9 seconds now over second place. Sunday evening drive for Brian Lemke. Onto the mid straight they go. See that gap closing. Jesse Mayer shows the nose to the inside of Joseph Meyer. Doesn't make a move attempt. Under braking. Into turn 11 they go here. Quick little right-hander. Back up onto the oval section. Jesse Mayer getting ever so closer to striking distance. See what kind of run he gets out of turn 14 and up onto the straight. There they go. Into turn 1. Doesn't look like Mayer going to attempt the move. Joseph Meyer going to hold off for another lap. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go. 2 more laps to go. This one plus 1 more for our drivers. Sean Teeter closing that gap down on Kelly Greenhoe. Diaz and Atchison. Atchison's gotten around Diaz. Let's take a look here at how that came to fruition. Diaz gave him a ton of room. Atchison took advantage of it. Let's move Atchison up into 7th place. Chris Diaz down into 8th. Teeter right on Greenhoe's back bumper. Oh, Kelly drifting it through turn 10. Luckily for him, Sean Teeter didn't collect him up through that power drift. And turn 13 they go. This is it. This is going to be the final lap. Let's see what kind of opportunity Sean Teeter has here into turn 1. Jesse Meager's gotten around Joseph Meyer. We'll take a look at what happened there in a moment once we see if Sean Teeter makes the move into turn 1. He doesn't. Let's take a look here at how Jesse Meyer got around. It's going to be similar to what we saw Atchison make the move on Diaz. Jesse Meyer up into turn 2, back into 2nd place. Teeter trying to find a way around Greenhoe, unable to do it. Our leader, a couple more corners to go to wrap this one up. Kelly Greenhoe defending from Teeter. Teeter looking on the inside. Oh, also close. Greenhoe is going to hold off. Our leader, Brian Lemke, into the final set of corners to wrap up his championship run. Brian Lemke led this one from flag to flag. Barney waving the checkered flag for him. That's going to do it. Congrats to Brian Lemke. Jesse Meyer is going to come across in 2nd place. Joseph Marr in tow. Congrats to those two. So back here between Greenhoe and Teeter. Looks like Greenhoe going to hold off Teeter to the line. Nice battle between those two. Atchison was able to pull away from Diaz once he got by him. Kent Kruger into the final corner. Kent was actually only 2 seconds back of that battle between Atchison and Sunday. Another couple laps, we might have seen the big dog get involved in that. But it wasn't meant to be here this evening for Kent. No doubt he'll be looking forward to the Mazdas next season. Kent, a strong driver in the Mazdas. Felipe Cox going to come home to round out the top 10. So that's going to signal the end of the season here. Apex this season 24 brought us the Ferrari Challenge cars. Take a look at our final results. Congrats to all of our drivers that participated this season. Brian Lemke brings home the win. Jesse Meyer in 2nd place. The last lap move around Joseph Meyer. Meyer going to fall to 3rd place. Kelly Greenhoe in 4th. Was able to hold off Sean Teeter. Aaron Sunday in 6th. Justin Atchison in 7th. Christopher Diaz comes home in 8th with Kent Kruger in 9th. Felipe Cox in 10th. And then Nick Gere did not see the grid. So we will clear that out. We'll wait and see if a couple of our drivers come into chat. Let's take a quick look here what the championship standings again were when we came into this one, just to give us an idea of what our drivers were facing. As I mentioned, Brian Lemke came in pretty much wrapping up the championship with this one, and that win is just going to put the exclamation mark on his championship. But on the AM side, Christopher Diaz came into this one only 2 points up on Jesse Meyer, so that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds, as Meyer finishing in 2nd place and Diaz coming home with a 8th Ozik Sulu did not see the grid this evening. Aaron Sunday going to come home in 6th place. So we'll have to see how the points unfold now. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for Diaz and Mayer. Diaz and Mayer. But so we got our race winner as well as championship winner, Brian Lemke, in the booth. Lemke, you pretty much did what you needed on that one. Got yourself on pole, got yourself out front at the green, and didn't really look back from there.
Yeah, once I got a little lead, was able to just kind of put it in cruise control and make sure I get that 0x, and yeah, end this season on a high note for sure.
Were you keeping an eye on what was going on behind you, the guys battling for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th?
I saw them on my relative, all within each other, and then sometimes I'd see them drop back. I assumed that they were battling it out, but yeah, I wasn't really able to keep an eye on what was going on back there.
Now we're going to change to the Mazda MX-5 next season. We've seen your prowess in the GT3 machinery, and what was it last season was Porsche Cup and the Caymans, and then the fixed Ferrari this season. How are you feeling switching back to a much slower car next season for the Sunday broadcasts?
I'm so excited. I love racing the Mazdas. I think they race probably better than any of the cars. It's just close. Every week it seems like it's a really good battle, and a lot of the fast guys show up week to week, and yeah, I cannot wait. I am really looking forward to next season, Sunday nights. Hopefully get some new drivers in and run some Mazdas, and hopefully I'll be talking to you after a handful of these events.
Well, I suspect that your pace will translate over, but how did now the season's wrapped up, Brian, how did this new car feel to you? Obviously, taking the championship, you were able to adapt to it, but they take you a little while to get accustomed to it, to where you can really put in strong performances week in, week out.
Yeah, for sure. The first couple of weeks, it was definitely a learning curve. Fixed series, so no changes. So you just gotta drive what they give you. And then it all kind of started coming together. It kind of reminded me of like the Porsche Cup, where it drives a certain way, but once you figure out how to drive that way, it all kind of comes together. And then this car is surprisingly really good in the rain. A lot of these rain races were a lot of fun. I thought the car, for a fixed setup especially, was really fun in the rain. So it made for a fun season from start to finish.
Well, excellent stuff, Lemke. You earned this one. I mentioned it in the broadcast. Pretty much a flawless season. A couple blips here and there, but the back half of the season, you were the guy to beat. So well done. Anybody you want to shout out here before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you doing some more broadcasts next season, and looking forward to talking to you. And I'm really excited for some Mazdas. We're also going to be doing, I think, GT4 on Tuesday. And then I think we're going to still be doing an IndyCar one of these nights. So if people aren't checking out Apex, come check it out. We got a little something for everybody. I think we even got some ovals, a little bit of everything. We're going to have a couple surprises in the middle of the season that we've never done before as well. So hopefully people stick around and check it out.
Excellent stuff. Well, best of luck to you next week or next season, Brian. And we'll talk to you then.
Thank you very much.
Take care. That was our championship winner and race winner, Brian Lemke. Let's bring in our 3rd place finisher. Joseph, you came into this one 3rd in points. I'm not sure exactly how the drops are going to work out, but you were 8 points back of Brian Zinn. Zinn's not here. Do you think you did enough to take 2nd overall in the points?
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure I would have had to win with 3 bonus points to do it, and obviously I didn't do that.
You tried your best. The cars out here looked like they were a handful. We saw a couple drivers lose the back end. Kelly Greenhoe and Sean Teeter, namely, losing the back end, almost identical to each other. But the Ferrari Challenge car, a new car this season, how did you adjust to it? Did you get to grips to it right at the beginning of the season, or is it as we were just talking to Lemke, where it took him about 3 or 4 weeks really to adjust, and then by the back half of the season he felt comfortable in it? Is that the same kind of scenario for you, or were you a little more comfortable from the hop?
I got about halfway adjusted fairly quick, a few races, but you're always still learning in this car. You gotta really not overdrive this car for it to handle well, and it's hard to do. It's a pretty fine line. And especially this track was very hard on the left side tires, so that was kind of one of my focuses tonight, was to protect those as much as possible.
Yeah, it's we got 14 corners, and I think 11 of the 14 are all left-hand corners, or right-hand corners, which are hard on the left front, as you mentioned. But next season we head to Mazdas on Sundays. Are you going to be jumping in the Mazda, and how do you feel about driving that next season?
Yeah, I'll definitely be in them. Mazdas, I haven't really done them in a while, so I'm going to have to get back up to speed, but I like them. They're fun.
Excellent stuff, Joseph. Anybody you want to give a shout out here to before we let you go for the season?
To you and to all the admins who run this league and put on such a great race for us every week.
Excellent. We appreciate it, Joseph. Best of luck next season to you, and hopefully we see you in the booth a few times. Take care.
Thank you.
That was our third place finisher, and I believe potentially, if his math is correct, as I didn't do any mathing. Math is not my specialty. Joseph could come home potentially third place in points. He might have just taken second away from Zin, but we'll have to see once the final calculations and any protests are dealt with by the admins. So we mentioned earlier on, taking a quick look at our schedule here for Racers Nexus heading into next season. As we just mentioned with Brian Lemke and Joseph Marr, Sundays, Apex this will be MX5 Cup starting at 8:55. Mondays, it's going to be the PCC SOF, which is the Strength of Field official broadcast on Mondays. Tuesdays is going to see Throttle Freaks GT3 action with the two leagues, fixed setup followed by open setup league racing, 35 and 40-minute races each. Wednesdays will be the Next Gen Series Tobacco Road Racing League, starting at 7:45 on Wednesdays. Thursdays will see the return of Throttle Freaks in their new F4 fixed setup heat racing, as well as you heard Brian Lemke mention Apex. This is a couple other races during the week. If you're interested in doing some other racing, we just broadcast the Sunday race. I'll leave Discord links for all of these leagues in the video description below or in the comments, either way, one way or the other, for anybody that's interested in joining them. And as well, if you're out there, you want your league or hosted race broadcasted, feel free to contact us. I'm Rob Campbell for Racers Nexus. We'll catch you back next season. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bye for now.